Yeah, I'm back at ya. I'm back at ya. Mombasa, Kutupa, and Yadena, Mombasa, and Kutupa, and Chaco.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Kenny Akamolade Thompson again. It's been a while since I communicate through this medium, and it's a little bit difficult to do, but at the same time, um, as we're moving towards the new or the next political session, where we're going to be choosing some governorships and probably president down the road, I think it's viable and it's okay for me to start doing my podcast about Nigeria generally, about the situation of things and what is going on. And I'm going to be using um, Facebook and all the contents that I encounter in Facebook to do this. Um, Pardon me for some few things that you can see. If your name is included in some of the things that I'm going to be doing, right now I'm telling my viewers and people who follow me on Facebook, if you think you do not want your name, your comments to be included in a future podcast, I think this is about time for you to go ahead and delete me or do not follow me, because the internet, Facebook, or any other medium is now a public arena. So whatever you say, whatever you do, you are not doing it in the confinement of your privacy. You are not doing it in order for people like us to see, to evaluate, and to critique, whatever you say. So in that context, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of podcasts for Nigerian, for the new, for the future of Nigerian politics. Whoever is criticized, please do not take it personally. I personally love Nigeria. Nigeria is my motherland. It's been a long time since I left, but I still keep abreast to exactly what is going on. And I, as a media guy on the internet, I am ready to start exposing all these politicians for what they are. Whatever they do, as long as they put it public, I am going to start exposing them and criticizing them. If you are doing good, you do not have to fear, my critics, my criticism, sorry. But if you think you're going to be using, or you are going to be parading yourself as if, you're doing the right thing, well, we are going to analyze and we are going to see exactly what you're doing. Time for mediocrity is over. If you cannot rule, if you cannot take the leadership of doing the right thing and make sure that we are moving to the next level, it is time for you to go. We are not going to ask for anything violent. We are going to do it right here, with the presence of the media. And through media, we are going to expose a whole lot of things going on in Nigeria. So bear with me. But for my first podcast, I want to introduce to you somebody in Ekiti land that we're trying to project as the new governor, as the new leader, someone with vision, somebody who has gone through the training, both militarily and administratively, to go to Ekiti land from United States of America to take us to that promised land we've been talking about. So give me one moment, let me gather my thoughts, and then I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye from Ekiti. Please stay tuned. I'm introducing to you Mr. Babatunde O Alegbeleye, popularly known as Goa. This is the political civic for the Ekiti State Governorship. A few months ago, a very good friend of mine in Baltimore introduced me to this illustrious son, and since then I've been following him. I've read his dossier and we've talked numerous times on the phone. In a few minutes I'm going to go through the political civic for this great man from Ekiti. My situation with Ekiti State is, despite the fact that gbogbo àwọn tó kàwé nílùú ní state yẹn, all the way from Christ School to the newest secondary school and higher educational institutions tó níbẹ̀, èmi ò mọ nǹkan tó ń fi gbogbo owó wọn ṣe. We have all these brains, but when we look around, there's nothing to show for it. Okay? Our roads not maintained. To bá lọ láti Aramoko all the way through Erigian into Ikogosi, all the roads that used to be the transport medium for the agricultural areas to bring up their products, all the roads have been invaded by plants due to non-maintenance. Now, from what I'm hearing, there's a new way of getting around that, simply because of negligence. I'm not here only to talk only about my area, but that's a very, very good, that is a very invested interest that I have. But I'm going to talk generally about what is going on in Ekiti land. There is nobody near Ekiti to more story of Ekiti to me, especially in the early period, because late F.A.O. Akomolede, who happens to be my dad, when I was very, very small, ló ti máa ń gbé mi lọ sí political meetings tó máa ń sábà ní Aramoko àti Ijero àti the other few towns tó wà around Wangba yẹn, because they were agitating for some administrative headquarters. So nígbà yẹn, when I was small, I'm always sitting in the car, waiting for my dad, 2, 3, 4 hours that they spent in all these meetings. The emergence of Omobuyowo and the others, these are people who later came in. I'm saying this because of my views that this is not my first time of following Ekiti State politics. I've been following Ekiti State politics for a long, long time. And my interest in that area is because of what I came up with, or when I was developing. So I knew everybody to jẹ́ pé wọ́n jà for the existence of that state up till now. And ó wà very, very disheartening to see how the current politicians are using that state as a stepping stone that make themselves rich in spite of the poverty that is going around. Okay? My situation is, when I look back, nígbà tá a bá ń wọ ìlú wa, or tá a bá ń wọ Ekiti generally, the landscape of those particular areas when we were coming in, okay, all the way from the very first military governor, Fajuyi, to the present day politicians. Some few people have done a whole lot to make it a better place for us to come through, or to come in and retire and do things. But the landscape itself is deteriorating. The schools are falling, there's no medical centers, there are so many few things that is falling in that land, despite the fact that we have PhDs and we have all these people around who are parading themselves as intellectuals. Tó o bá lè tú ìlú rẹ̀ ṣe, tó o bá lè tú ilé ẹ̀ ṣe, báwo ló ṣe máa tú state ṣe? People are dying in poverty, but you are parading yourself as if you are doing the right thing. People are dying of bad hunger. Youth are on the street doing nothing. Their main thing is to gather whatever education experience they want to gather and move down to Lagos. In the context of that, I'm trying to see exactly how I can influence with my own little part of how, for the next generation of politicians coming in, how can we find some reasonable ones who are keen of doing exactly what is good for Ekiti land. And this is where Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye comes in. Now, I'm going to go through his dossier, his civics, and see exactly what we are talking about, and to see how we can, through him, transform Ekiti into the next promised land that we are all looking for, that everybody is wishing for. So, in the next segment, I'm going to go through Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye political civic. Thanks. Welcome back to this podcast. This is Ekiti on my mind. And right now I'm speaking about Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye, that we are trying to make the next Ekiti governor. So you should bear with me, with whatever I'm saying, just listen. All right. Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye was elected president of Veteran Administration Employee Association in 2008. He served as a legislative aide to the state in Maryland to represent the state of Maryland in 2010. He was a candidate to fill the vacant Atlas City Council in the same area in 2010. He was a candidate for a district that he represented in 2011. This great Ekiti man was elected a delegate to the American Federation of Government Employees in the National Convention in 2012. Okay. Appointed founding member, Maryland Community Research Advisory Board in 2012. A candidate for the president, American Federation for Government Employees in 2012. A candidate to fill at-large city council in 2012. Also, he was a candidate for the district seat in 2013. Re-elected delegate to American Federation of Government National Convention in 2015. Okay? This Ekiti man was also a candidate elected to the state delegate for the Democratic Party National Convention in 2016 after trying for 20 years. He was appointed member of the City of Bowie University Committee since 2010. This is an Ekiti man. This is the CV for an Ekiti man. This man used to be in the Army in the United States. So not only does he have the training militarily to succeed, he has the acumen of what we're talking about. So, it is time for us to make what we think is going to go for the long run of our state. It is time for us to put it in our vision, see exactly where we're going. We are doing things for, oúnjẹ tá máa jẹ lénìí tó jẹ́ pé àwa nìkan ló fẹ́ jẹ, tá a lè think about àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn, àwọn bàbá wa tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti darúgbó tó wọ́n lè ṣe nǹkan kan tó ń kú because of poverty. We have to start thinking generally about where we are going as a state. Okay? Our state is full of abundance of agricultural products, abundance of minerals. All we need is a good leader to take us to that promised land. And I think Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye can do this. I personally have seen a whole lot of people who are campaigning from this particular thing in Ekiti land. But when are we going to learn? Ìgbà wo la máa learn pé àwọn people they are taking us to church? Àbí? Àwọn aṣọ tá máa ń kó lọ sódò láyé àtijọ́ ni tá lọ ń fọ̀dọ̀tí wọn nù. Ọjọ́ mélòó la fẹ́ fọ̀dọ̀tí nù? It is time fún wa to take the bull by the horn and let somebody who has the acumen, who has the leadership to lead us to where we're trying to go. Àwọn atọrọjẹ tó ń wá lẹ́yìn tó ń rò pé, we can start believing in what they've been preaching for how many years. Yeah? Tabawo, this is my thread. This Ekiti speaks. I have so many people. Tó máa wá síbẹ̀ yẹn tó ń sọ pé wọ́n ti ṣe nǹkan rí, wọ́n ti ṣe gbá, wọ́n ti ṣàwo. Ọjọ́ mélòó la fẹ́ gbé láyé tá a máa pe màlúù ní brother. But when we have good leadership, okay, we have good leadership, and we think and we believe in that leadership. It is time for us collectively, to make sure pé àwọn tó wà lórí oyè, they are doing the right thing. They will have the audacity, or they will have, what it takes, to come up to the people and say, this is what we're doing. Kì í ṣe pé ká lọ máa gbé machine tàbí ká lọ máa gbé kíní hairdresser, kì í ṣe pé ká lọ máa gbé fún àwọn èèyàn. Ẹ̀yin mélòó ló fẹ́ pín machine fún? Nígbà tí federal government fún yín lówó pé kẹ́ lọ fi túlù ṣe. That is the essence of the state. And that is the essence of the local government. Ẹ ń pín owó láàrin ara yín láti máa fún àwọn èèyàn tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin like. Ẹ ń pín owó láàrin ara yín láti máa fún politicians tó wà party yín. When the general public, the public tó yẹ kẹ́ maintain, kẹ́ ṣe gbá kẹ́ ṣàwo irọ́ ẹ máa pín owó ní zones ẹ máa pín owó fún àwọn èèyàn tó wà lábẹ́ yín and everything else is deteriorating. ọ̀nà tó yẹ kí àwọn àgbẹ̀ kán máa gbà kọjá láti kó nǹkan tó wà nínú oko wọn kán lọ máa tà á gbogbo yẹn it's been eradicated. I remember when I was growing up àwọn bọ́lẹ̀ kájàs tó máa kó nǹkan tó máa kó láti Ekiti land tó máa kó lọ sí Àkúrẹ́ because Àkúrẹ́ was zone quarters nígbà yẹn. mo mọ àìmọye ìtẹ̀gbà tó jẹ́ pé tá a bá ń lọ from Aramọ́kọ sí Ẹ̀rìjìyàn tó jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn máa tò sójú títì tó wọ́n máa ta ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tó wọ́n máa ta plantain tó wọ́n máa ta iṣu. You know, I know all this. My grandmother used to go out, okay, tó jẹ́ pé òun ló ń supply irú àti ògìrì fún wọn ní Ekiti land ní Ẹ̀rìjìyàn gbà yẹn. So I knew what she was going through. But all these things have now died because the youth doesn't want to be in the villages anymore, láti produce. Because the government of nowadays do not even care what they are doing. Nothing is going on. Despite the natural resources, Tani, including the brains and the educated people. So, my main thing right now is to go ahead and influence in any other way, you know, that it is time for good leadership. This is what initially I'm going to start doing. I want us to go ahead and look at Mr. Babatunde Alegbeleye's dossier, see exactly what I'm talking about, and see how we can help him, you know, to fulfill this. Because àwọn ń ṣe bí èèyàn tó wà ní Nàìjà, gbogbo owó tó ń pín kiri tó ń lọ jẹun níta tó ń ṣègbà tó ń ṣàwò àwa ò ní gbogbo owó yẹn. We are so disciplined in America tó jẹ́ pé bó bá ṣe ń gbowó ẹ̀ báyìí ó ní nǹkan tó máa ná sí. So for us to be having an extra money láti máa pín kiri, you know, is a little bit difficult. But at the same time, we just can't sit back káwọ ìlú yẹn kó deteriorate, káwọ àwọn èèyàn tó ń kú, káwọ àwọn èèyàn don't go into the hospital without the hope of coming back out. Káwọn àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké, the little ones who have brains, migrating to Lagos and some of them even migrating to Libya. You know, débi tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa kú lọ́nà. You know, we are too sophisticated fún àwọn ọmọ wa láti máa kú bẹ́ẹ̀. And why are they doing that? Because of some few people don't fẹ́ jẹun. Some few people don't fẹ́ kówó jẹ, and they will come, you know, and start giving you some rubbish tó jẹ́ pé àwọn gan fúnra wọn mọ̀ pé wọn ò lè ṣe, and they start feeding it to people simply because they want to get their votes. So anyway, you know, this is the beginning. I'm going to start criticizing not only in Ekiti land but generally in Nigeria. So if you like it, share it with me. If you do not, but just go ahead and delete me. You know, I won't mind you deleting me because, you know, I'm going to say my mind, and I don't really care what the federal government says. You know, so the day I come to Nigeria, if they want to arrest me, hey, you can go ahead and do what you got to do. But right now, it is time for us to see exactly what is going on. Thank you. And Shipupo for listening to me, you know, today. And I will be seeing you guys in future. Thanks. Have a very nice day.